was the trailer launch of Mowgli Legend of the Jungle. In the trailer launch, there are many Bollywood celebs who have somehow or another contributed in the film. There are many Bollywood celebs that were present in the trailer launch that includes Madhuri Dixit, Abhishek Bachchan, Anil Kapoor, Kareena Kapoor. So take a look at the video that what each celeb has shared with the media.
The international cast, the people who played performance captured roles, who inhabited the roles of the animals, and also a wonderful young actor playing Mowgli. And we also have some of your wonderful Indian talent who have joined us in the dubbing of the film for India. So I'm going to if you'll excuse some of the pronunciations, which I'm sure I'll get wrong, but I will welcome onto the stage in this order, the fantastic. It was such an honor to work with him. He is a genius actor, a world-class act, and who I've known for many years and had the great honor of working with before, now twice. But when he came to this project, he absolutely blew us out of the water with his performance as Bagheera. If you'd like to welcome on stage the wonderful Christian Bale. Hello, mate. Oi, oi. Oi, oi. Do you want to say a quick hello? Are we saying hellos individual, or should we just bring everybody on?
I think we should bring everyone on.
Okay, and then we'll get into it. Okay. So next up is a phenomenal actress who you will know and love. She obviously came into public recognition with Slumdog Millionaire. I worked with her on Planet of the Apes. She is so brilliant in this movie as Mesua, Mowgli's human mother, the wonderful Frida Pinto. Next up is someone who I know a little bit. His name is Louis Ashbourne-Serkis. I know him because he's my son, and he plays the part of a small little albino wolf in this movie who is quite sweet, I would say that. But he's now a grumpy teenager. Here he is, Louis Ashbourne-Serkis. Next up, from our international cast, from our local cast, international to me, is the wonderful actor who you will all know and love, and we are delighted and thrilled to have him on board, Abhishek Bachchan. Hi, Abhishek. Lovely to meet you. Thank you for having me. Thank you very much. And then next up, the incredibly talented, wonderful actor who you will, again, know incredibly well, Anil Kapoor Khan. Anil Kapoor. Anil Kapoor. Welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Next up, someone who I adore and think is the most extraordinary actress. She will be, of course, very, very well known to you. The wonderful Madhuri Dixit Nene. No, there isn't a lot. Thank you. A lot of flashing though. And then finally we have with us today a young talented actor who will steal your hearts as the central character of Mowgli. He really has done an extraordinary job. He was dedicated through this whole process. This was a very, very long job, and he stuck with it all the way and gave every single ounce of himself. I'd like to introduce to you the very talented Rohan Chand. And finally, actually, I have missed someone out because I haven't got my reading glasses on. I'm very sorry about that. Again, a lovely actor who you will know very, very well, the wonderful Kareena Kapoor Khan.
All right. Hello. I would request This one, I mean, what a cast, ladies and gentlemen. What a cast. Now, hey. You'll all get your opportunity for a photo. Thank you. But because कहानी हिंदुस्तानी है तो हिंदुस्तानी ज़बानी में ही हम कुछ दिखाना चाहेंगे आपको. And I'm very excited because without any further ado, now if you could just now focus on the screens, ladies and gentlemen, here is presenting the Hindi trailer of Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle. If you could just... Everyone wants to see it. Once again, with all these wonderful people, of course, we're missing out on one person who has a son called Tiger, and now he plays a tiger. Mr. Jackie Shroff, who's not here. But ladies and gentlemen, I think we all deserve to see the trailer once again. So, can we please play the trailer once again? It's a request. If you could dim the lights again. Oh wow, they're listening to me, nice. And performance capture, acting, the voices of this absolutely fine cast. It streams on Netflix on the 7th of December in a language of your choice. There's Tamil, Telugu, and English, and of course Hindi. But I think I want to start with Andy. Andy, I have grown up with this story like a lot of us. I have grown up with this book. I have grown up with watching it on television. What makes Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle, now in 2018, so distinctive from all the adaptations?
I think one of the most important things about this version that does separate it or differentiate it is a really it's really searching for the heart of Mowgli. I think in many other adaptations, it always seems like Mowgli is sort of almost left on the side while the animals do star turns, and that it's a sort of he's part of the story but not central. We wanted to make a Mowgli-centric story, and it's about his very complex psychological, emotional journey of self-discovery in a world, and you know, caught between two worlds which are changing, and that's really at the heart of it. And it is so tonally, it is closer to the book as a result. It feels that book had that, and sometimes some of the adaptations haven't really gone as far as they can to really extract that visceral sense of what it is to be caught between, you know, to not have a real sense of belonging, and that's what hopefully the audiences will relate to in this modern context.
Kristen, my next question would be to you. A big Netflix Hollywood release. The premiere is happening in India. How does it feel? Have you gotten used to everything here in India, which is different?
No, but you know, it's just the very tip of the iceberg. You know, I filmed here before in 2011 in Rajasthan, in Jodhpur, with The Dark Knight Rises. And then I brought my family out here. We've been here for 4 days. We travelled through Delhi and Agra and Jaipur, and then just arrived here in Mumbai. And you know, tiny scratch of this incredible country, which has sort of a world within itself. But it's so appropriate for Mowgli to premiere here.
All right, and Rohan. Hi. I like your hair right now too. All right, Rohan. It's a very famous story. Literally every single person in this room and across the world knows this story. People have played Mowgli before. How long did it take for you to get into the character? Like, did you put in a lot of years, you know, probably getting ready for this character of Mowgli, which is iconic?
Yeah, so much like all of you, I actually grew up reading Rudyard Kipling's short stories as well. And, you know, I really loved them, and I really loved Mowgli, you know, the boy who grew up with wolves. He was almost like my hero in a way, but I put a lot of work into this through like the physical side of the character. I did a lot of research on YouTube, and I actually went to upstate New York to camp out with wolves in a Wolf Conservatory Center in order to like observe their movements and kind of observe how they interact with each other, and I try to apply that to Mowgli.
Man, I like it. He did his research on YouTube. I would have aced my exams if I had the internet back then. All right, ladies and gentlemen, of course, I have a lot of questions, but I'm sure that you want to ask your questions. So if you could just raise your hand and a mic would reach you from friends here. Yes, there's a question. Yes, you could start from here. Oh, there's a question coming from there. There's already a mic.
I have the mic.
Hi.
So shall I just start?
If you could just address...
Okay, I have the Mike, so I'm just
Yes.
going to start. Hi. My question's for Andy, actually. I know Suren just asked you about Jungle Book in the modern context, but my question is actually a variation on that. What would you say is the relevance of the story today, especially with the whole sort of man-animal conflict, conservation, the environment? There's like kind of sharks, Jaws made sharks scary. Is there a possibility that kids might be afraid of tigers after this? I'm just wondering about all these sort of... And the film does have layering about these things.
Yeah, I mean, I think that our version of the film does. First of all, it digs into the notion of what it is to be an outsider. That is perhaps the most important aspect of the film. What it is to feel displaced. What it is to not feel that you belong anywhere. And that's why I think it will resonate. We live in a world that is full of people who are told to find differences in others rather than accept others, and that is one of the things that I think is incredibly powerful about this story of belonging. I think on a sort of a very small kind of political level, you can't make a version of the Jungle Book now in 2018 without recognizing when it was written, where it was set, the history of the time, and we've tried to bring that to bear in some small way in the film, in the way that in the human relationship to the jungle, in the terms of colonization, in the terms of the world of animals having to recede and to be threatened and to somehow survive. So there is a comment on the fact that we are daily losing great swathes of paradise in our world. And historically, when Rudyard Kipling was writing this book, and what he means, and I firmly believe that his DNA is part of this storytelling. This boy that was brought up in India, whose first language was Hindi, who then was sent away to live in a foreign land. And was abused as a child. So I think that all those aspects really play into a modern retelling, and I don't think you can actually do it by doing a whitewashed version of this film. I think you have to connect with the place that it was originally written and based, and I think that's what we've done.
And a quick question for your son. What was it like working with Dad and doing what he's made so famous the world over with his performance capture techniques?
Yeah, it was great working with him. Obviously, it's cool to see that he's developed this way of acting, and it's been cool to try out, the performance capture suit. But it was cool because we'd go into work together, and then we'd come back, and it was just like a normal day. Me getting home from work, him getting home from work. So it was cool. It was a new experience.
All right, there's a question coming from Rudrani. Yes.
Hi, Rohan. I thought you were fantastic in the trailer. What's very interesting is that Mowgli, in different versions, has been always seen as this boy who's been brave, but yet there's this cuteness about him. What we see here is more like a warrior towards the end, where you sort of take on the world. Did you ever think, if you read books, that you would sort of be portraying this version slightly darker, slightly more fierce in your research, or whatever you thought you would do it?
I mean, for a boy growing up in the jungle, you would kind of have to be kind of fierce, to compete with these animals and everything. But also, I think our movie is kind of closer in tone to Rudyard Kipling's book, which it goes kind of deeper a lot with the characters. And also, something that I really admire about Mowgli is really just his perseverance, because obviously he was dealt a very bad hand in life, and his parents were killed in the jungle when he was just a child. And stuff like that. He just keeps getting obstacles thrown at him over and over and over again, but he still manages to find a way to just push through those obstacles. So I think that's really amazing about him.
Swati report from Next 9 World.